This is a 2019 F87 BMW M2, and this is the new G87. So recently there's been a lot of hype about the new M2, and I have no doubt that when it comes out, it's gonna be a great car in terms of handling, acceleration, and all of that. But that car has a big issue, and that issue is this. This is a 2019 M2 Competition. It's the F87 and it's an absolutely stunning car. So today I'm gonna see whether you can save yourself some money and time and go for this M2 Competition, or you need to wait it out and push yourself to get the new M2. So when the M2 was first launched in 2015, a lot of BMW enthusiasts absolutely loved it because it felt like a step towards the right direction in the car having the BMW M characteristics, because a lot of people thought that the F80 and the F82 M3 and M4 are too big, too luxurious to be M cars, true M cars, because these cars are growing in size and they're getting heavier and heavier every year. So the M2 felt like a step in the right direction, but it was actually not an actual M car, because that car did not come with an actual M engine. The original M2 back in 2015 came with the N55 engine, which is the engine from the 335i. And it didn't have a lot of the M characteristics, like it didn't have M seats, it didn't have M controls to control your driving modes. It had the normal standard 2 series controls for your driving modes, and in a lot of ways, it felt like a 235i with a body kit. But then BMW came up with the M2 Competition, which was just a little bit heavier. But this car had the S55 engine from the M3 and the M4 in it. And it had all the M characteristics that you would want except the carbon roof. So it had the M seats, it had the M driving modes, it had a full new tachometer and all of those. But then again, the new M2 does not feel like a step in that direction. Feels like the new M2 is just like every other M car nowadays, moving towards being a luxury car with lots of tech, not a true driver's car. But I believe the new M2 is no longer the baby M car, which is relatively affordable, but it's just a shorter, less powerful M4 that is not so affordable. The original M2 came with the N55 engine, which is a 3-liter single turbo engine that makes around 365 horsepower and 465 Newton meters of torque. But this M2 Competition came with the S55 engine, which was the same 3.0 liter engine but with twin turbos. It's making 410 horsepower and around 550 Newton meters of torque. But the new G87 M2 comes with the S58 engine, which is the engine from the new M3 and M4. And in the M2, it makes 453 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of torque. So it's quite a power jump from this car. But even though I've not yet driven the new M2, nor it's out, or nor I've seen any reviews of it, my opinion is that you're not gonna really feel that extra power, because the new M2 is over 150 kilos heavier than this car, which is also heavier than the original M2. So the M2 Competition weighs in at 1,575 kilograms, and the G87 M2 weighs in at 1,725 kilograms, which is like having 2 full-grown adults added to your car. And that car weighs almost the same as the new M4. If you want to compare that car to this car in terms of its size, it has also grown a lot in its size. So the new M2 compared to this car is 119 millimeters longer, 16 millimeters wider, and 11 millimeters lower. So let's take the M2 Competition for a drive. So this is my first time driving an M2 Competition. So you're gonna get my genuine reaction on what I think about this car and what's my first impressions about it. So first impressions, oh my God, bro. I want this. Holy. Engine-wise, it feels exactly like F82 M4, which I've driven plenty of times. feels exactly the same, which is obvious because they have the same engine. The throttle is too sharp that my feet is used to that, is not used to this. So I'm like, oh. So this car is an amazing car to drive. I'm sure they've done a lot of improvements in the new M2. Of course, the new M2 is 60 horsepower faster, but this car is actually a stage 2. So this car is faster than the new M2, this specific car. Second of all, new M2 is just so much more expensive. You can get one of these used for such a bargain right now compared to the hefty price tag that the new M2 is coming with, which is even a lot more expensive than what it used to be for these cars brand new. I feel like the G87 M2 is just an M4, which is a little bit shorter and it has a little bit less horsepower. But this car is a totally different car than the F80 M4, and it feels more nimble, it's small, it's compact. In many ways, this feels more like very updated and new E46. You could hate me all you want, but the E46 M3 was small, compact, fast, and didn't have all the raw horsepower, but it was quick, and that's what this car is. But I have a feeling when the new M2 comes out, it's not gonna have this characteristics. It's gonna be, as we are moving forward in the car world, cars are getting number, you get less feeling from the road, and I feel like we are all getting dumber drivers with all the tech that's going on. So I think the question is, do you really want the latest and greatest, or do you still want to hold on to a short wheelbase, quick, powerful, nimble car? So BMW claims that the F87 M2 Competition does 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4 seconds, and the new G87 does it in 3.9 seconds. Since we can't try the new M2, let's just try this for the fun of it and get a real world number on this weird undisclosed location that's not even straight. So I'm gonna put the car in Sports Plus mode and the gears into the most aggressive settings.
Oh my god, that's so fast.
So my verdict is, I guess if you want the latest and greatest car that BMW makes, go for the G87 by all means. But if you want a really fun car and you don't want to keep it stock, and you're a person who likes modding cars and spending money on the car, save up the difference between buying one of these and buying the new G87 and just spend the money modding the car. You're gonna have the time of your life, I promise. And if you bought one of these and you didn't like it, I'll just buy, you can just give it away. You can let me know down below in the comments. But until then, and 465 Newton meters of torque. Why did I say torque like that?